Hi, John Chapin with your latest sales tip. And today's sales tip is about eye contact and eye movement to sell more and better connect with people in general. And specifically in this video, you'll learn how to tell immediately if someone's lying to you, how to connect with the 3% of the population that instantly doesn't trust you because of something you're doing subconsciously you're not even aware of. And then finally, at the end, I'll give you some bonus stuff, specifically some statistics related to eye contact that you can use to better connect and communicate with people and make more sales. So let's start with the 3% of the population that doesn't trust you because of something you're doing subconsciously that you're not aware of. So years ago, I put a video on YouTube that got a lot of views, and you don't need to look it up. I'll tell you right here, right now, what it's all about. Basically, in that video, I mentioned that whenever you talk to someone personally or professionally, you want to look in one eye, specifically the left eye. Some of you immediately have a question. I'll answer it in a second. First, why do you look in one eye? Have you ever heard the saying, I don't trust that guy. That guy seems kind of shifty. That guy's shifty-eyed. What happens is when we look people in the eye, we want to look in both eyes, but we can't. Some of you think you can. But unless you're a lobster or that weird toad where one eye moves and the other one stays still, you can't look in both eyes at the same time. Try it if you don't believe me. So what happens is we go back and forth from one eye to the other. Either that or we're talking to someone, our attention gets drawn away for a second, we come back and we think, oh, I've been looking that eye long enough, I'll look in the other eye. Whatever it is, what happens is roughly 3% of the population picks up that eye shift in their subconscious, and it gives them a feeling that you're shifty. They aren't sure why they don't trust you. They just know they'll never do business with you. So look in the left eye. Why the left eye? Have you ever had an instantaneous connection with someone? You met them for the first time, the conversation flowed, it's like you knew them forever. That connection happens in the right side of the brain, the creative emotional side of the brain, which controls the left eye. So look in the left eye. Now, if you do, does that mean you'll always have an instantaneous connection? No, you'll have more of them. But you will connect with another 3% of the population. Maybe that means 3% more sales, 3% more second dates, whatever it is. By the way, some of you have a question. Wait, is it my left or their left? The answer is it's their left eye. So you're looking to your right and to their left eye. And here's how you remember that. When you're talking to someone, who's the focus of the conversation on? Right, them. So it's their left eye. By the way, it will take you about 2 weeks to get used to this. You'll be thinking, I'm looking the left eye, it's driving me crazy. You'll get used to it. Okay, next, how to tell if someone's lying to you. So I'll start this with a story. When my daughter first got her license, she'd take the car and go meet her friends, and afterwards I'd ask her, where'd you go, what'd you do? Typical questions without making it an interrogation. So she glanced to the left before she told me the story. I knew I was getting the truth. If she looked to the right, I knew she was making something up. So a normal right-handed person looks to their left when they remember something. They look to their right when they're creating something in their brain. So my daughter looked to her left to recall what happened. I knew it was a memory, so I know it was the truth. When she looked to her right, I knew she was creating a story. She was making something up, so I'd ask more questions. Also, I'd pause at the end of the answer and just look at her with the expression, really? You expect me to believe that? 3 or 4 seconds into the pause, she'd be singing like a canary. If you have kids, the pause works great. By the way, in a left-handed person, it's reversed. To remember, they look to their right. To make stuff up, they look to their left. Ambidextrous can be either, so you have to check it. How do you check it? Simple. You ask them a question where they have to remember something. Do you remember your first car? What color was it? See where they look. The real key here is to look for changes in eye contact. Do they or don't they make good eye contact? Do they look away or close their eyes when they answer a question? Some people increase blink rate or stop blinking altogether. If you simply pay attention to this, you should be able to pick this up fairly easily with people you know. For example, if they usually make good eye contact, all of a sudden they aren't, that's a sign something's off. For strangers, it can be a little more difficult. For example, you may meet somebody who makes almost no eye contact at all. This could be due to low self-esteem or a lack of confidence. That might be how they communicate all the time, or they might be nervous, which causes them to appear as if they're lying when they answer a question. The key is to get an idea as to what their normal communication looks like. Once you know that, you can pick up the differences from there. So look, if you haven't paid attention to this before, it takes some practice. But the more you pay attention to this, the more you practice it, the better you get, until eventually it won't matter if you're talking to a stranger or someone you know well, you'll be able to tell truth from fiction. My one warning, until you get really good at this, don't see one indicator and then go off on someone for being a liar. If you think you see something, look for more evidence. The reason is there are rare exceptions to the rule. Some people process things very uniquely and differently. Others know telltale signs of lying and they're good at avoiding them. So use these as indicators and go from there. Finally, the bonus I promised you that will help you better connect and communicate with people and make more sales. So studies show the average salesperson makes eye contact with a prospect 45 to 50% of the time during a sales conversation. Studies also show the more eye contact you make with people, the more they'll trust you and the more sales you'll make. So to better connect with people, build trust, and ultimately make more sales, you want to increase the amount of eye contact you make with people as much as possible. The minimum, though, you want to be at 60 to 70%. Of course, there are going to be times when you have to look at notes, you have to look at a proposal, you might have to think for a moment, look away. But other than that, your goal is to make as much eye contact as possible. And some people say, oh, you can't make too much eye contact, that's creepy. Look, eye contact's only creepy if the expression on your face is creepy, your eyes are bugging out of your head, or there's something extreme. If it's normal eye contact in a normal sales or social situation, you can look at people the whole time. Now, for most people in sales, making lights of eye contact shouldn't be a problem. But if you're uncomfortable with this, practice it, work on it. The more you do it, the more natural it will become. So look in the left eye, as much eye contact as possible. Pay attention to others' eye contact to see if they're being straight with you, and add a pause where you need to. So I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, please pass it on and hit subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you're looking for a great sales speaker, trainer, or coach with 36 years of highly successful sales experience, go to my website, CompleteSelling.com, and I'll see you on the next video.